Hey, this is Stu Smith, and I am about to show you a 500-yard combat swimmer stroke PST for the first time of these four very different athletes. We have a female who has a swimming background, but played a different sport in college. We have three other young men who are either baseball, football, or lacrosse players. So none of them are swimmers collegiately, and all of them are taking the PST for the first time. So without wasting any more of your time, let's watch how this looks. And we'll break down all these different strokes. So here we go. Kick off the wall. By the way, this is a 25-yard pool. For any of you trolls out there that don't think it's 25 yards. So, now if we look, they all have a pretty good combat swimmer stroke. They are, by the way, this is pretty new to the combat swimmer stroke. I'd say within the last month or so. You can see the girl here, she is just going to crush them, actually. I won't make you wait for the very end. She actually kicks their ass.
You do good.
So, what we will do with this is we'll kind of break down everybody's stroke, because we got 10 laps to do it. So here's the second guy. It's pretty good. Nice, good turnaround. There's a third guy. And here's number 4. So, you can see he's going to be a little bit slower than all of them. However, once again, this is his first time. In fact, I think this is his first time of ever finishing a 500-yard swim. So that's kind of where we're going with the different levels of swimmers here. But you can see the timing's pretty good. You got the top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Now she is crushing. Now you notice what kind of kick she's using. She's using a breaststroke kick to do this combat swimmer stroke. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. And she's got a kind of a high RPM turnover. She tends to glide for about a second or two, when I think she could probably glide a little more, be a little more efficient. Might be a little slower, but probably still going to get under 8 minutes. So here's number 2 and 3. They're pretty much neck and neck the whole time. And here's number 4. So top arm, bottom arm. Oh, did a little overhand reach over there. Probably shouldn't do that too often in this swim. You'll probably get called for not doing an underwater recovery. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Now see how her does. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide, but doing that breaststroke. Her glide is about 1 Mississippi pull. So like I said, I think she could glide a little bit further, but you know what, I'm not going to argue, because you can't argue with the results. She's, swimming 8 minutes, probably sub 8 if she put out a little harder. And but she could do it a little more efficiently. And we'll see how the rest of her PST looks, because if she winds up overworking and getting more tired, and now her pull-ups suck, she might want to consider being a little more efficient in the pool, even if it slows you down 10 or 15 seconds. I mean, because what's the difference? You get an 8-minute flat or you get an 8:15. Both are very good scores, very much passing, and competitive. So you got to think about this PST as a strategy. Where are your weak points? Hers is obviously not swimming, right? Upper body strength is a little bit weak. Her running's pretty good. So you might want to try to be a little more efficient in the pool if you have an upper body strength weakness. Now if you're pretty strong, doesn't really matter. You can put out a little bit harder, maybe have a higher RPM rate, get in better shape for swimming to maintain that rate. Where people really screw up in swimming is they overwork it and they get exhausted, and the rest of the test absolutely sucks for them. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Like, all these guys got the technique down. There's just a difference in all of them. And you can see the difference between going faster and going slower really is about how much water you can grab and how hard you're pulling and kicking. All right, this guy pulls a little bit harder with that top arm pull, grabs a little bit more water. Like this guy, he really gets a good grab of water in there and pulls hard with that upper body, and he kicks hard with those legs. Right? You're going to glide a little faster. That's going to take off time, and you really want to make sure you're not gliding too long to where you lose all your momentum, but at the same time you don't want to glide not enough and you're overstroking and getting tired, halfway through the swim. So we're in the 5-minute zone of this swim, of this video. I think I started after about a minute of talking, so she's probably about halfway done now. About a 4-minute. She turned around about 4 minutes at the halfway mark. So, which is good because she got about an 8:08, I think, was her time. And the other guys were under 9 minutes as well, except for our big football player there, which was just over 10 minutes. So they're not doing too badly for their first time ever taking it. I was pretty surprised that the middle two here actually broke 9 minutes. That was a good first swim for them to be able to do that. Alright, so top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. As you can see, she's lapping. She lapped one guy already, and I think the other guys were making a comment after it was all done that they didn't want her to lap them, so they put out a little bit harder. Maybe that's why they broke 8 or 9 minutes, or came close to it if they didn't. But they're starting to lap number 4 here, and they are just getting halfway through. I think they're 1 lap over half now through the swim. So pull harder, kick harder, you go a little faster. So let's break down. We got some time here. Let's break down a stroke. So we're gonna top arm pull. See, he's grabbing a pretty good amount of water, and then notice how he uses that top arm there, this right here, right? He's pushing water this way, right, which makes you go this way, right? So let's see how this looks. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. That's a good one. He could probably glide a little bit longer too, but once again, not going to argue with the results. It's his first time really swimming this, and it's not kicking his ass, so it's pretty good. So here we go. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Alright, notice he's got a good kick there, about to push the glide out a little bit. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Nice, good glide. But he's picking it up fast too, so he's not really gliding that far. I personally recommend glide and try at least glide 2 seconds after you kick. If you're producing enough power to glide, you want to do that. Otherwise, you really are kind of overworking this 500-yard swim. And it's not just the 500-yard swim. You don't want to give it your all on a 500-yard swim, because you now have push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and a 1.5-mile run to do. And if you give it your all, meaning you go all out, you're not going to have anything left for the rest of the test. So you got to pace yourself properly. And the way I do it is I recommend 50 yards in 50 seconds. That'll give you 500 yards in 500 seconds, which in turn is a 8:20, which is an exceptionally good swim. So, top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Yeah, see, like, they're really starting to speed things up now, as opposed to just kind of relaxing. Like, there is, like, no glide whatsoever, and that's like 6 strokes, close to 7. She's probably going to have, like, 8 strokes per length here. So, once again, she swims fast, she's in shape enough to swim fast, and she just got herself in the 8:20, 8:08, 8:10 zone. I can't remember exactly what it was. But he has 2 more laps to go. So she lapped him twice, which that sucks. And these guys lapped him once. So these guys are finishing up, like I said, the high 8s. I think they might have just broke 9 on this one. All right, not bad. Like I said, he's like high repping. All these guys are really working, I think, a little too hard for what a 500-yard swim is. But that's my opinion. But at the same time, they're making competitive scores. This is their first PST. And, you know, it's a good score. So this guy is going to be, like I said, in the 10-minute zone for his first one ever. And, you know, it's not bad for your first time ever swimming 500 yards without stopping. It's pretty darn good. I'm pretty impressed by it, to be honest. And he's a big 280-pound football player that is now at about 215. So he has lost a lot of weight, and it's taken a significant amount of time to do that. So let's look at his stroke real quick when we got a second. But this guy's really done a remarkable job. Played college football, and now he's trying to go to buds. So we'll do a little slow motion here. So we go top arm. I think he just exhaled at the same time as when he came up there. So might have to work on his breathing a little bit, because you need to exhale underwater right now. So when you turn to breathe, you're not blowing it all out and having to inhale at the same time. So, interesting. Just noticed that with the slow-mo. All right, well, that is 4 people taking the PST for the first time. Hope you learned something on it. As you can see, there's 4 different people here, 4 different athletes, 4 different backgrounds, and 4 different times of an effort and abilities. That you know, it's a pretty diverse group. So you know, it takes all types of people. A couple more months, these guys ought to be all in the 8-minute zone, and maybe our female EOD candidate will be getting closer to 7. So this is Stu Smith. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you later.